So Emmanuel enjoyed it far less than Dragon Tattoo when they're practically the same genre.
To be fair, I did have the opposite reactions too.
Yeah.
That's the point, actually, Dan. What's your nomination for this round?
Yeah.
I thought you said, didn't he?
Oh, did he? I wasn't here.
I thought you asked him.
No, I didn't ask him.
Oh. Who did you ask? You asked someone extra.
We've only got the points for us four.
Have we? Okay.
Yeah.
There's no point asking John.
Yeah, he's watched one film this round.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
I feel like if I take the nomination round from John for this round, I'd quite rightly be accused of cheating.
Humphrey, your choices for nomination are 12 Angry Men, Tick Tick Boom, Klaus, Insomnia, and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, or Forfeit, which was John's film.
Yeah, Forfeit was pretty. I don't know. Didn't have much to it.
No, it'd be 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ben. You have won.
Most
this
underrated
year's...
brother.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
I'm pleased with that.
And there's still 3 of us who can tie for it.
Oh.
This is when Emmanuel's also like 12 Angry Men, and it's like, oh.
It's not going to be Insomnia for him.
That'd be funny if he comes in and goes, "No, I liked what it was doing. I'm going to give my point to Pat." And we're like, "But you gave it 3."
This doesn't make any sense.
This is when we go, oh, it's really weird that you'd score a Christopher Nolan film so low. And then he's like, it was Christopher Nolan?
I bet you'll say that.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I realised why everything on my computer is so slow. It's because it's shit.
That'll do it.
Oh, no, also I've got NordVPN on, so it's not going to let me do the call very well on it.
Oh, Alec, this is the first time this year that you haven't been top of the nominations board. And it's the only time it counts.
Oh, jeez.
But isn't that so me? I set it all up for victory, and then I trip at the end, and then you head it in. Or in this case, Ben heads it in.
Oh, man. Well, to be fair, you can still tie for it.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so we'll see what Emmanuel nominates.
I don't want to hear the word tie anymore. I've had enough of that.
You've had a bad day, haven't you, Pat?
And last week.
It was really funny, right? Because I saw your Facebook status being like, "Yes, Bruno, get in," and then I checked the score and I was like, "That's not like Pat to celebrate a draw." And then I looked at what times they were scored.
Oh, you've actually tanked quite a bit there, Pat.
That really surprises me. I honestly thought that Emmanuel was going to love it.
Because it's on paper, it's a film that you would like. It's a grim murder mystery. A lot of unhappy people.
I thought it flowed really well as well.
Yeah.
Against women.
The thing that's carked it though is that there wasn't an actual rape. So
no mutilation.
There goes our monetization for another week.
Well, you decided to start recording, so
no, he didn't say rape. He said grape. There wasn't grapes.
There was no grapes in it.
No grapes. Thing, but it's Emmanuel's favorite thing.
Grapes of wrath.
Right, I'm gonna.
What's
do
eating Gilbert? Oh.
Sorry.
Now, if Emmanuel can just.
Insomnia got the same overall score as The Fundamentals of Caring. I think it was a better film than that.
Yeah, I forgot about that film. It was so long ago. It was like third pick.
Well, it got more than John's film.
Yes.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
I take it he's not joining us.
Well, John?
Yeah.
Oh, he said he was only going to join for the awards, but yeah,
of which he's missed around a year. Oh, I forgot we were recording. Whoops.
The best thing was you hid your face as you said that.
it was Pat all along. And a big fat goose egg for John across the board. He still won't come last though. Poor Emmanuel.
Well, John came last on the nominations at least.
At least we have that. Right, so Emmanuel ends the year with 21.
And there he is.
I dread to think what ungodly number Rob's gonna have.
Emmanuel, you look like I looked after the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah,
I'm really surprised, man. I thought you'd like it.
I thought I would as well.
Oh no!
Just saying there wasn't enough mutilation in it for you.
Even after I watched it, I was like, Emmanuel's going to give this great scores. Emmanuel's probably going to nominate this as his film of the round, but no.
Rob jinxed it.
Sorry.
That's right. I'll tell you my reasons.
Before we get into it, what do you want to give your nomination point to?
Oh,
Your choices are 12 Angry Men, Tick Tick Boom, Klaus, Insomnia, or The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Klaus.
Yeah!
Congratulations, Alex. You've tied for the nominations lead.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
That means we've got the first ever tied winners for something. Which is pretty cool.
Blimey.
Benjamin.
What's the tie for?
So we've got like a little league going for the points that the films get, and then also like the nomination points that they get. So the end of the year points now. So tied in first are Alec and Ben with 11 each. Tied in second are me and Pat with 10 each. Fifth is Humphrey with 8. Sixth is Emmanuel with 3, and last is John with 2.
Well, you've sunk Pat's film, and you've helped me win the nomination thing again for the second year. So we're best friends now. Can't do anything about it. Love you, Pat.
Oh, man.
Okay, that's fine.
You're welcome.
So why'd you pick it, Pat?
So it was, like I was saying to some of you last week, it was a film that I came across, must have been like 10 odd years ago, just flicking through the channels late at night. I sort of sat through and watched it, really liked it, found out it was a Christopher Nolan film as well, and I felt it was quite interesting to pick, considering he's well known for these big bombastic films with high budgets. So to see one of his earlier films, to see what he was like with a smaller budget, was interesting to see. And like with Al Pacino and Robin Williams playing sort of roles that they're not accustomed to, I thought it was probably one of the more interesting films I've picked. That's
I
it.
thought you froze it.
I thought he froze. I'm like, is he
I thought he was waiting for confirmation. It's like, no.
I was just checking something while I was saying it, and I came back onto screen. I was like, is everyone gone?
Yeah, no, I thought it was I thought it was kind of cool to see Al Pacino and Robin Williams play those characters. So I think like Robin Williams just him not being the funny guy is enough for him to be really creepy.
Yeah. Camilla agrees.
I was really impressed with him because I don't know. I think as well because he's such like a big part of everyone's sort of childhood. If you're our age, just seeing him in that role, but like he's like absolutely killing it. Like I kind of forgot that he was him at points, and I think it was possibly because I had to, because otherwise it would have, I'd have been going like, "What's Robin Williams being so awful?"
That's true, actually. I think because he is that person, you do kind of have to you almost have to repress him as you're seeing it.
Yeah.
And
To be
go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, to be honest, if you don't repress it, it makes it even creepier, because that's the kind of, he would have seemed like a well-to-do natured guy to everyone else. Like no one who met this guy in the town would think he killed this girl and reacted like that. So it makes it, in a way, even more interesting.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that is true.
Even the way that he switches at the end, where he's all nice, and then when it all kind of comes to the end, he's just like "fuck you," and he's punching the woman.
Yeah, that's so effective. That's why it was such a good actor, because he could turn on a dime, literally just be like nice everyman kind of wholesome guy, and then literally he's just got this like sadistic dark side that's hidden within. He's like oppressed rage and frustration that he unleashes, which was really quite creepy.
And the only thing that kind of let it down from an acting point of view for me was Hilary Swank.
Yeah, she wasn't. She was very much the weak link there.
Kind of felt like every scene she was in, she was kind of going like, "These are my lines."
Yeah. Oh god.
It doesn't help, like when you're opposite kind of Robin Williams doing arguably one of the best performances of his career, and Al Pacino. It's like, well, you could have, I don't know, maybe leveled that a bit better.
I think that's the thing, because they're both, because Al Pacino, I just came out of watching him in The Godfather, so to see him be someone who's like not in control of the situation, like at any point, that was like really cool. And then Robin Williams playing his role, I was like, wow, this is really neat. Like, well, how you've used these actors and like kind of made them go against themselves a bit. So what are we going to do? I mean, I'm not familiar with Hilary Swank, but like just the fact I was so like paying attention to how good the acting was. I don't know if she's necessarily bad, but it or like bad next to them, because like she's not had a lot. She didn't seem to get a lot.
So we realized.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my god.
That's all right.
It's been a disaster.
What happened?
Camilla realized he was oh no, the tablet fell over the camera.
Oh.
I hear it. Camilla realized he was in another film where he was like creepy and whatnot the same year. It's 1 hour photo.
Yeah, I mentioned that the other day. I don't know. I do think this is a much better film than that, though.
Yeah, I think it's better. I do like 1 hour photo, but yeah, this is a superior film.
I've never actually seen that.
You'd probably like it, to be honest. I was going to say don't watch it, but yeah, I think you would like it.
Don't watch it. You might like it. Yeah, you might like it.
When you joined then, Alec, I thought John was joining, and I was like, wow. my heart skipped a beat.
Oh, I'm sorry to not disappoint.
Oh yeah, he said for the thing. Okay, carry on. Sorry.
I thought for a minute you said he's dead.
Bloody hell, where'd that come from?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh yeah.
I was reading something quickly and I thought, has he said what I thought he said?
My.
Happy end of the year, guys.
Happy end of the year.
Happy end.
One of the things I didn't like about Hilary Swank's character was the fact that she kept saying about, "Oh, I'll write that down. I'll write that down." And I was like, "Stop!" Like you're trying to make a catchphrase and it's not working.
You are going to need more than one notepad, Hilary Swank.
How are you, the Regina George here? Just like, it's not going to happen, Hilary. Stop trying to make it happen.
Make it happen.
I must admit, like, so I don't know. It's not really my kind of film anyway. But I was getting into it, and I was like, for a Christopher Nolan film, I feel really engaged in this, and I think it was because like I didn't get the sense that they were trying to do too much, which I always do with Christopher Nolan. But one thing that did kind of, it pulled the rug from under it a little bit for me was the end scene when she was like, "Oh, we'll just throw this bullet away," and then Al Pacino was like, "No, don't do that," because I was kind of like, "Is this a redemption? Because you you did some awful things.
I don't know if it's necessarily a redemption, but just like a, you know, I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. Like, don't, you know, don't start like doing this where you start covering up for shit and sacrificing your integrity and stuff. I
To me,
took
that
it more
was
as a saving of them of her rather than a redemption of him, if that makes sense. Sorry, Emmanuel.
Oh no, yeah. Sorry, I was interrupting. That felt out of character for me. I think Camilla felt the same way. She's like, wait, what? Why are you now going to throw away the book? What? How did you get from this to this?
I missed the beginning, but I felt like she really admired him.
She really looked up to him, but that was obvious. She really looked up to him. Great reputation, and I said great reputation from what she knew. And he's a big LA detective, and she's like, okay, I have a lot to learn. I'm newer, don't get this stuff much. I'm interested in this. Obviously, she finds that out. She's suspicious, and she goes to investigate. And she knows what's happened. But suddenly, she's just like, oh no.
I think when you've had that connection with someone who you've kind of idolized and stuff, and then yeah, I don't know, like there's been like a big sort of emotional journey here, but then just to see them like they've just been shot and they're dying, I can see that you'd be distraught enough that you'd kind of forget what had happened most recently, or you'd be trying to make them feel better or something. Like, you know, I can kind of see it.
Like, I know she didn't forget, but at the same time, I guess she was just like, I think,
like, it's his legacy.
Not about, I guess, yeah, you have the legacy and stuff. I think it was one of those things where she kind of thought in that moment, you knew it was who the real killer was. You did eventually kill him, but I guess you've put away a lot of bad guys. You still do some kind of a good job. I guess it's not worth doing that to put you away. I don't know. Like you said, maybe in the moment in all the killing, I just thought kind of out of character.
I think it's
maybe there was more that should have been put in, but maybe it's just her acting. That might have been it, to be honest, because it's not like unbelievable. It's just kind of like, wait, what? Is there some more words that should be here? I'm kind of like, I don't know. But anyway, she was also very dumb going there by herself.
I think it was just for me that film, that scene just kind of felt like it. Maybe it was her acting, I don't know, but like it just felt like she was kind of going like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just like, you know, we'll keep this between us." And I was like, "No, he's done a really bad thing. like if he'd have only done one really bad thing, then fine. But he's done a few."
I think it is all that stuff in the beginning though, because there are like it's internal affairs and stuff, and like if they come in and find out about the case with the child killer, and that he falsified evidence to get him put away, then that puts like all these criminals back on the street and everything. So I think he is kind of, there's definitely like part of it that's like a selfish interest, but like there is also that though, like just all these criminals will be back on the street and all that. So I kind of understood him a little. I understood more why he was trying to cover up that he'd accidentally killed Hap, because
that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and then but yeah, like Robin Williams is kind of maneuvering him, so he's going like, right, well, if you tell anyone about me, then I'll tell everyone about Hap, and that fucks you up. That's your whole like life's work, you know. So I can see it. I felt like the characters mostly made sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't mind that whole thing. Like I thought that was quite cool. But it's just, I don't know. It kind of it gets to the point where like acting in that self-interest is like a really, really bad thing. And I don't know. I just think like that end scene didn't really cover how bad it was for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's easy to read him as being just self-interested, but I don't think that's entirely him. Because like he wouldn't have thought if it was just for him. I don't think he'd have put himself in a position where he's falsifying evidence. I think the fact he's falsifying it because he knows that he can't like prove it necessarily other than his own like gut feeling. So I think the fact he does do that kind of shows that it's not just for him. He is trying to keep some other kid from getting killed. So I think there is like kind of a more what's the word, altruistic kind of motivation to him. I think I might be talking out my ass, but but yeah, he didn't just strike me as just a selfish person. I think like he did have a bigger reason to do it other than him.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd call him selfish, but I think I'd more, I don't know. I suppose it's hard really because like for me it's kind of like it's sort of it's not so much a selfishness, but it's just that it goes way past the point where he could have gone, I'm handling this terribly.
Yeah.
Because that line, it's kind of like 12 Angry Men. We don't know all the details of the case. The way he's saying it, just like when we first heard it in that film, it could be straight, yeah, definitely it's that person. But then things might not be, beyond reasonable doubt, and there might actually genuinely be something that shows it actually was someone else. Or maybe this person had a part to do with it, but it wasn't the murder, it was something else. So it's like that line, where does it, once he's crossed it, he's crossing it again.
Yeah. There's definitely like an ethical problem with him just going, yeah, you're a child killer. Like, as I've met some. It's like I'm not advocating for that, but but I think it makes sense to him at least. And I think it makes sense because I think it makes sense to Hilary Swank's character to go like to recognize like how deep he's like got in here to like keep everything sort of under wraps and that. So I can see why she'd go, I'll just pretend I never saw this, because I thought it was quite strange that she goes back to where the shooting took place and she still finds this fucking cartridge, and I'm like, dude, really? There's no tide like coming in, you're like right by the fucking water, that's still there? Like, really? Like 5 days fucking later? But anyway.
She's just going it's true. There's lots.
Back out again. It's only small.
Yeah, there's lots of holes in it and some very questionable things. But yeah, so yeah,
I'm like, just saying like, oh, I actually never found a cartridge. Like, yeah, that's cool. Or like I lost I don't know, whatever. I can see why she tried to preserve that legacy if she could, because it's already bonkers that she fucking found the cartridge anyway.
Not really. It's bonkers to us because we understand how reality works. But but it's at the end of the day, she showed it, and then everyone was really dismissive. And I don't know, it's just really...
no one really cared. She could have got away with covering it up, but whatever.
All she had to do was literally just throw it away and not talk about it like she was about to. And literally, yeah, like you said, no one would have cared, which is very bad. Yeah. But yes, this is true.
I think that was the ultimate thing, though, was that despite how easy it would have been to like just turn the other cheek and walk and let sleeping dogs lie, so to speak, it's kind of like the whole point is that he wanted to know before he died that, look, There's no way around it. Even if it tarnishes my legacy, I want everyone to know what the truth was, and that was the most important thing. And that's why I think it was the point, even if it was far-reaching.
Because I think just building off that, I just thought of another moment, because I was going because she like does a report about the shooting against Hap, and she like gives it to Al Pacino to sign, and he's like looking at it, and then he goes, "Nah, I'd check your facts." And I was like, "Why the fuck did you do that?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's because he's looking at her name. She's signed it." And then he's like, "Right, if I now sign that off, then that looks like that she's covering up like it up for me as well. So I don't want to put her in it." So I think there was already like kind of a sense that he wasn't going to get out of it, like in his mind. So I think that's why he made that decision to kind of go like, "Nah, we'll spend a bit more time checking that out actually," because it's like, yeah, that doesn't help him at all, but it does keep her out of it. And I was like, that's a nice little. I thought that was a nice little moment. Sorry, I'll stop talking now.
That's good.
No, that's cool.
That's cool. I'm glad you're going to stop talking.
It's good.
Not like that.
Come on, Pat.
What?
You must have
Your
something.
fucking film.
Yeah,
You're
it's
fucking.
I'm letting you guys talk so I can sort of get a feel for what you actually like about it.
Nothing.
Ah.
You're not Emmanuel. Yeah, I was quite pleasantly surprised.
Oh wow.
Alec likes something.
Yeah. I was like, this has never happened.
Who are you and what have you done with Alec?
He liked a thing. But no, I was really impressed with like the character work. I was really fucking struggling because like I kind of on the second watch I was like, right, I need to really take an analytical eye here. I'm gonna fucking get to the bottom of whether this is shit or not. And then it was holding up really, really well. I think some of like the action is a little bit like when he goes to the kid's house, because he realizes that Robin Williams has found the gun that he was going to frame him with, and then he runs over to the kid's place to go and like try and get the gun out of the vent so the kid doesn't go down for it. And then the police are all coming up the stairs and he's like hiding in the bathroom, and I was just like, man, you're quite fucked. You're quite fucked. And then the big guys like kind of come in through the door, and then they go, no, we found it in this bucket of oil. That's where he put this gun. And I was like, fuck off. You didn't do that. Also, Robin Williams says that he heard Al Pacino shoot a Hap, and then he dropped his pistol. I went back to the scene, and I don't think that happened, because Al Pacino like shoots him, and then he looks down and the gun's like right there, and I was like, I don't think that's true, Robin Williams. I think you might be lying, because you either lost all like mass, and then you just kind of became a ghost, and then you just floated away from it, or you dropped it before that point. But yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot of the talking. Someone else take the ball off me, please.
Ghost.
Sorry, I'm just looking.
Even Humphrey. Look how desperate I've got. I'm asking for Humphrey to talk.
Yeah.
Oh man.
This is what happens when you pick 2 January films in a row.
Yeah. No, I
So-
didn't.
This is such a January film, isn't it?
I was just looking at some of the trivia for it. Robin Williams prepared for this film by staying isolated in Alaska throughout the entire process.
I was really worried you were going to go prepared for this role by punching a girl to death.
And he went into a relapse back into drinking while doing that whole thing.
Oh,
But which is pretty shit. But Christopher Nolan also had to deal with both actors in a different way. So he left Robin Williams to do what he wanted, and he required no sort of preparation. He'd just come in, do his lines, go back to wherever it was he was staying. Now Pacino was constant. He was basically having to baby him the whole time because he wanted meticulous preparation, so he got everything right. Considering this is probably one of the best actors ever, one of, not the. So there's no arguments there.
That title belongs to Mr. Collins.
That's a strong claim, isn't it?
You'd think that he would probably have a similar sort of outlook as Robin Williams, but I suppose the constant preparation is probably why he's had the career he's had. So it could work both ways, I guess.
Man, so
Interesting.
he really went deep into the role, or in a way.
Yeah.
I read the other day that apparently the reason that what's his name, Will Dormer, is called Will Dormer is because it comes like Dormer apparently comes from the Portuguese and Spanish word for sleep.
It's also bloody French.
But when I read that,
Yeah.
I was like, you, Christopher Nolan, you are doing it again.
When I heard it, I was like, "You bastard, French!"
The thing is, right, so when I read that, I was like, oh, it's surprising that Christopher Nolan isn't a writer for this. But apparently he was a writer, he just didn't credit himself.
I suppose all directors in a way are sort of like ghostwriters to the scripts they do, I suppose.
Well, apparently he actually like rewrote the whole thing, but he just didn't credit himself.
Oh, entirely rewrite it.
Yeah.
Blimey.
I can't remember who the writer was now, the screenwriter. Because obviously it was based on the original Swedish movie.
It's Norwegian, isn't it?
Oh, Norwegian, all right.
It's got Stellan Skarsgård in it.
Scars.
Yeah, Alex.
God.
Name.
Oh, if you'd have picked the foreign one, we'd have had two Stellan Skarsgård movies in a row. Oh no, we wouldn't have.
Mm.
Sorry, no, ignore me. I was just thinking of the American one, but Emmanuel hates it, so ignore.
And then we could pick Good Will Hunting next and have Robin Williams and Stellan Skarsgård again.
That's true, yeah.
I thought that part was played by Matt Damon. That's just how good he is.
Imagine Stellan Skarsgård turning up to set and a director being like, right, I just want you to do your best Matt Damon.
Damon him a 20, like I can't be fucked with this one actually.
So he just jumped into a pit so everyone could save him.
But yeah, for me, I thought it was all right in general, but there were just parts that personally annoyed me, and this is more of a me thing than anything else. But
methane then.
Methane, yeah.
This is more of a methane.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Sorry, I'm finding it hard to explain now.
It's more of a me thing, but it bothered you.
Yes. So basically, the cop, the investigator, Al Pacino's character, he acted it great, but his character annoyed me. Basically, as soon as at first, I didn't know where it was gonna go, and I was liking it. I was like, all right, cool. Like, I like this kind of dynamics and the stuff setting up between all of them. And then he shot Hap. And I was just like, you're an idiot.
No! I would have shot Hap.
Yeah, it was still like a mistake.
You're not a veteran cop.
Just in general.
You're not a veteran cop. This is a guy who has a lot of experience. Yes, he was very dumb, and for some reason, he it's like he refused to. I know when he's getting sleepier and sleepier, it was that was past that point. But in the beginning, he refused to just go to some store and get some outdoor shoes. He was doing all this stuff in his office shoes.
I've noticed a trend here, Emmanuel. Well, there's two things. It's similar to another thing, and the other thing is that every time we have a sci-fi, Alec finds something to go, this is illogical about. But every time we have like a cop film, you find something to go, this man is not worth his position about.
This man didn't commute, and this man didn't get outdoor shoes.
1 out of 10.
There was no genital mutilation.
Brad Pitt, get a train.
When Humphrey was complaining about the guy from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoos trainers last week, were you just sat there like, but at least they were appropriate?
They were. I liked most of 7. I remember thinking that was really good. But yeah, you got a good point.
He goes to a jog in the forest with trainers on. He's gonna fucking slip.
I thought that was a really really nice aspect to show, like, that he's kind of out of his depth. Like, if you live around there, you probably are used to like kind of traversing just kind of weird terrain, and he's from Los Angeles, so he's absolutely fucking not.
Yeah, he's probably never done something like that in like fog and like obviously like the terrain you say as well. And this guy that like you don't even know what he fully looks like, so you're just looking at this human silhouette, a vague silhouette.
Yeah, all you know is that you're in an unfamiliar situation. You can't see fucking shit. The guy's got a gun and he shot one of your guys. He's like, fuck.
It's a very American thing to do as well.
He sees a silhouette and he's like, I gotta do it, and then it just turns out to be him. Sorry.
Yeah, the mistake was that he went for a fatal shot. Obviously, that was still a mistake, regardless. But perhaps he should have aimed for the legs or something to immobilize him instead. Maybe that's what he should have done.
I thought that was a dead tense scene.
It really
was like, fucking shoot him! And then I was like, cool, we killed that guy with the weird face. No worries.
Before he shot, I was just like, wait, you don't know who that is? Because there were so many people going out. We were disorientated. We didn't even know like where he was. He could have walked in a circle. And I was just like, okay, first, like, make sure that I want to see the guy's face. And then he just shot. And I was just like, why you shoot already?
Because he's got a ranged weapon.
And then he's just like, but this is a veteran detective. The whole point is that I don't think he was that good of a detective, to be frankly honest. If he's doing
detective doesn't mean he can dodge bullets.
No, not Hap.
No, I know what you mean.
Yes, Pacino. And even after that, I don't care if you're really tired and sleepy, right? This veteran detective almost twisted his ankle multiple times. He still didn't get any more appropriate shoes.
I love the idea we're doing this big stakeout and watch this thing, and then he's like, just all this stuff happens. His mate gets shot and he's in the fog, and he's like, I better go to Foot Locker.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have got any shoes.
Stay where you are. Whoever you are.
They would have been so cheap. They would have been like that. Everyone there buys those shoes. Like none of the police would be worried. I was like, dude, this guy doesn't have like the best sense.
I wouldn't be.
But you're not a veteran police officer. That's the point.
I would give real money to have Christopher Nolan here just to see. Just like this is what you took away from
it. Would never have crossed his mind to even include. It's because if it was set in like Antarctica or somewhere that was really like remote, like in The Thing, where it's just like this remote place in the wilderness with nothing that's anything remotely, there's no concrete or anything like that to walk on, I'd understand that argument. But it's still quite a rural kind of like well, sorry, it's still quite an urbanish like street that even the most of the crimes happen on. There's only that bit in.
I don't blame Al Pacino for not going and buying
Yeah.
a good pair of outdoor shoes if he thinks he's going back to Los Angeles like a week later.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a day or two.
All we needed was a scene of Al Pacino packing his suitcase, like picking up a pair of trainers and being like, "Nah, most of the crime's going to be on an urban street." So
I won't take my Crocs for this. I might take my Skechers.
I like the idea that we're going to go and sort this out, and he's like, "I won't go without my outdoor shoes."
Well, we just
makes
need
it worse.
we just needed a scene with Al Pacino being like, "It's Sunday and all the shoe shops are shut."
Here's the cabin. I gotta go to a mountain
it was
warehouse.
10 o'clock and he thought the schools were open. That's the truth.
You're in a shop and there's no shops open because it was midnight.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Fucking sun.
That makes it worse. He would have read the case notes. He would have known he was going to lakes and cabins and stuff.
To be fair, if you told me that I was gonna go to, I don't know, if you told me I was gonna go camping and then I'd come back in like a week, I probably wouldn't buy shoes or anything. Obviously, I'm not trying to chase a killer or anything, but like, it probably wouldn't cross my mind to like go. I'll do a mountain warehouse trip. I'll go and get some big stompy boots because I'm going to come back in a week. So like,
those marginal gains are why you're not a veteran detective, Alex.
That's why I'm not a veteran.
This is why John didn't come, please.
Don't be my partner if we're going camping, because I'll fucking shoot. I don't have the right shoes.
But to be honest, that's pretty minor. It's just one of the kind of many. There's just small things that just like annoyed me about him. Like I'm just like, why are you doing this? And then obviously after it got to a certain point to the movie, I was just like, he's just sleep deprived now. I can't really say anything. It's just gonna magnify everything. All his faults before are gonna be even bigger. So whatever. Now it's no point. But yeah, early on, I'm just like, I'm not sure I want to watch. I think, even though I thought the concept and stuff was good, I think part of it is, well, I didn't really want to watch basically a cop who's just started his journey of being not corrupt, but taking the law into his own hands on this case, and then trying to get out of this situation, but also trying to get the real killer while constantly talk with the killer and hiding tons of stuff. And the whole kind of this character just annoyed me, but it was believable.
This like the problem that you have with him shooting him, like it reminds me of this stand-up that I was watching yesterday, and this guy was doing a routine about how like is talking about like how absurd it is that police officers kill people, because he was like
talking about how he didn't have the right shoes.
No, he was saying like, oh, I'm fine with police officers, like, you know, like a defense being, oh, I shot him because I was scared, but before you become a police officer, I want to know what you're scared of. And it's like, yeah, it's the same thing as that. Like, if your defense is going to be, oh, I panicked and I wasn't sure what I was shooting at, then you need to be wearing the right shoes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't blame him. He couldn't see. He thought the guy was. He had enough reasons to go.
Like
no, I mean, he saw he was willing to shoot another cop, so I can see why he'd go like, "Hey, you know what? Fuck you!" Like,
I mean,
I don't blame him.
I don't know. I don't expect any veteran cop who's worth their salt to go, I'm gonna shoot a figure I cannot see, and I've almost tripped, and I can't really see, but I'm just gonna shoot and ask questions later. And I'm not gonna shoot in the leg. I'm gonna shoot, like Ben said, in the chest, where I could possibly kill someone, and it might end up not being the right person. Oh crap, you weren't the right person. Sorry about that. Get away from me! But
Thing
it
is-
was an accident.
The thing is,
happens all the time in America. So
I think you might have been a police commissioner in a past life, man.
well, the thing is, like, you're getting old. Like, you know, a non-lethal shot might become a bit more lethal than you expected. So I can absolutely see why you'd,
yeah,
you know, because he's not exactly a young guy in these. So I can see why he'd kind of go for a more.
But even then, yes, it happens all the time. Not discuss that, but they're not meant to aim for a lethal shot.
Yeah, I just think it, you know, in the situation, I'd be fucking panicking. Like, and I know I'm not a veteran cop, but like, I can understand why you would be.
I suppose that's another scene that you don't really want, though, is Al Pacino going, "Oh, I couldn't help it. I kind of shot and my hand went, ugh."
To be honest, that would be quite believable. Not to bring back the shoes again, but he was unsteady. He was on unsteady ground.
Bring back the shoes.
Send in the shoes.
He's an older guy. He doesn't look like someone who's a free runner or something, an old free runner. Like, it would be believable that he tried to aim for the legs, but went like, oh.
That is true,
So
to be fair. If he'd have kind of like slipped back or something, it would have got rid of it. Would have solved both of your issues.
Yeah. Because it still would have been manslaughter, but it's that would have solved the issue.
I think
Should have got better shoes.
Yeah, what we've established is that if more cops were like Emmanuel, the world would be in a better place.
I can,
Wearing the
yeah.
correct shoes.
Nobody would be commuting. Everyone would be wearing trainers.
Yeah, no one will be shot
There'd
unnecessarily.
be a fixed retirement age just in
Yeah,
case.
that'd be If only America thought that way.
I'm just picturing you just doing like a pep talk for all these guys and they're like a task force and they're going to Alaska and you're like, wear proper footwear, for fuck's sake. You're going to be running. You're going to be going over rocky terrain. Wear good shoes.
But that's the thing. Actually, police wear boots. They don't wear detectives' office shoes. I know he's a detective, but he's on the beat basically. He basically is. He's going out into the wilderness. Then why is he out in the streets if he's a desk detective? If he's investigating, he needs to wear proper shoes. He needs to talk to Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman from 7 would have some wise words for this guy.
I think I've got to apologise to Pat because I've spent all week going, Emmanuel's going to love this.
Brought
Thing
down
in
by
my
a
head
pair
now.
of shoes.
When Rob makes an absolute, I'm going to be like, the opposite's happening.
Yeah.
But like Rob's like, I'm gonna pick this film. Everyone's gonna hate it. Ended up being one of their most popular films of Film Club. Oh, Pat, Emmanuel's gonna love this film. Emmanuel doesn't really like this film.
It was solid, but then he didn't wear boots. Oh, fucking hell.
This is one of the small things that people pick up if they're not enjoying the film. I think.
Yeah.
I think if you were having a blast of it, you probably wouldn't have bothered you so
That
much.
really is.
Yeah, you'd have turned to know on that bit, I think.
I was like the idea
Yeah.
that you've got a strategy document, Pat, and you've just made a note that says, watch out for shoes.
I
Going
didn't
forward.
say nothing about shoes.
Next to no commuting.
Oh, you're talking about Emmanuel.
I do.
Sorry.
Oh, blimey.
Threw up.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the idea that we'd all be watching the same scene, and then me and Emmanuel would get really angry, and then I'd go, "You're right," and I'm like, "He wouldn't have got that gun, would he? He wouldn't have dropped that gun in that time and got away, would he? That's just fucking ridiculous." And you're just going like, "Yeah, those bloody shoes." Lovely. Oh, sorry about that. No, I just did a bit of a bubbly fart. Just carry on. Just keep talking.
I didn't hear it. That's fine.
No, it's cool. I felt it.
It's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
So, what was everyone's favourite scenes?
The
The one
shooting
where
of
he-
this.
Emmanuel, you go first.
The one where he was running over the rocks in his platforms.
Oh, at least he wasn't a female cop. It'd been even worse.
Fucking high heels.
Nah, the female cop had more sense.
Oh, you mean here with Swank?
He was a newbie, but she had more sense. I think my favorite. Sorry, what did you say, Ben?
No, I was just echoing what Dan was saying. Here with Swank.
Oh, don't echo Dan.
Oh, sorry.
He don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, continue, man.
I think one of my favorite scenes were probably when, like, Robin Williams first. Wait, that is his name.
Yeah, Robin Williams. You're thinking of the guy who sings Millennium. That's Robin.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not confusing his name, am I? Anyway,
that'd been a much different film.
Robin.
I killed those girls.
Oh man, but I think it was when Robin Williams called him for the first time, and it was just like, yeah, you must put your clock away by now, but it won't help. Like, and he's saying these stuff as if like he's been watching him or he knows what's going on. He has eyes and ears places. He's been seeing him do stuff, and it's just like, man, you screwed. You got one of these. But yeah, I think that was my favorite scene. The point, this is not about favorite scenes, next point, but linking to that, it made me think of it. The point where I realized this guy, he has issues. He really has issues. The Robin Williams character is when he was just like, yeah, she laughed. I didn't like that. Like, I need to make her be quiet. And I was just like, you got issues. I don't know what they are.
And they're very different to office shoes.
What issues?
Robin Williams, you got issues. Could I recommend a good pair of outdoor?
That'd actually be quite a good musical. Issues and office shoes.
Oh God, don't ruin it.
Oliver's a great character.
But yeah, that's when I realized, like, yeah, this is yeah, he shouldn't be out and about. That would seem very dangerous.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. That line sort of, I don't know, it was a bit chilling. I didn't like that. I especially didn't like Robin Williams saying that.
What line?
But that's what makes it even better.
Yeah.
Like you said, he into all this kind of fans and stuff, and any people who meet him, usually he's just a kind of decent guy, kind of quiet, keeps to himself, but is generally polite and whatnot. He would even, maybe he'll harm a fly, but he might help a ladybug. He does. But like, he seems like a decent guy.
Humphrey asked what line, but
but yeah, that point is just like, okay, this is. I think I was hoping for the film from that point to go more in the direction of Seven or something. Like, you've got someone who's really smart. Yeah, he makes mistakes and stuff, but he's got some intelligence. He's messed up, but he's got intelligence. But it went more of the route of, I'm gonna keep hiding this crime that I did, and all the other stuff that I guess I wasn't as interested in. It's just one of those things. It's just personal preference.
Humphrey asked what line you were talking about.
Oh, really? Oh, the one where he tells the detective, he confesses like how it went down. Like, she started laughing, and he just started beating her. It's like,
Don't laugh at an erection. Not even Robin Williams' erection.
sorry, it's a very messed up line. That's why I'm not laughing.
I know.
Okay, Rob, what was your favourite scene?
Probably the ferry scene. I really like the.
I thought you said the fairy scene. And I was like, no, you watched it.
Imagine if I watched Hook and I just came back going, I can't believe how serious Robin Williams.
He was the villain.
Yeah, I really like the scene on the ferry because I don't know, that was probably where I first started going like, I don't like Robin Williams being this person, and I really like the back and forth between him and Al Pacino. And it's like I said, I think my favourite thing about this film was seeing Robin Williams and Al Pacino in roles that weren't their usual roles, and that's probably where you get the most of that from both of them. So yeah.
Humphrey, what you got? I'm dying to know.
Oh, my favourite scene's the bit where he goes in the house to find the gun, because it gets really tense. Because where he's running around and you see him switching between two things, and then he runs in the toilet, and the bloke goes up to the door, and you're like, fuck. And then they find the gun, and he walks away. And then, lucky enough, because he's a poorly shoed police officer, he walks in, and they just. I would have thought you'd have known that he would have come with her. That was a bit odd. The fact that he just walks in and they're like, "We found the gun." It's like, wait a minute, you would have seen him in the car. Yeah.
Oh no, they were very.
Stupid.
Huh?
Stupid.
Yes, they were stupid, and that was proven in different parts of the film. But mainly, they saw him. They would have saw him or heard him anyway drive away in his car, so they would have just assumed that he would have rocked up late after them. And plus, his car would have actually been nearby, so. It's like, yeah, it's weird. They didn't hear him, of course, but there you go. They weren't exactly the brightest.
It still was a tense scene, but yeah, it's a bit.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was
he's gonna get found out, ain't he? It's not gonna go down well.
That was the thing that actually broke it a little bit for me, but that's fine.
It reminded me of, actually, I can't think of it now. It reminds me of a scene in something else or a video game. I can't remember which is which, when there's a similar situation and the kind of killer was still in the house when they went in, but he was just like hiding in a room, and it went south. But anyway.
Ben, what you got?
Rob mentioned the ferry scene, which is another one of my favorite parts. But,
you watched Hook as well.
But I think the little bits of him like struggling to get to sleep, even though it wasn't really much of a scene, it was parts throughout the film entirely. But just you can see his frustration bleeding into his private life a bit. He can't relax or rest because of the stress of like the actual case itself and the fact that the place is constantly daylight. And I like that the two things were bleeding into each other a bit, and it was just his mind just couldn't shut off because he was constantly thinking about everything, and the whole thing of not being able to sleep and the paranoia of just like the flashbacks of all the guilt he was having as well. It led into his insomnia, which I thought was the really good theme about it all. And the fact he died was him finally getting the rest he so craved. So I thought that was a nice little full circle. He finally gets to sleep, even if it was a permanent one. So yeah, that was a good thing.
That was quite well put.
Yeah.
Very well
And
put.
another thing I wanted to mention is like you said about Robin Williams and Al Pacino playing the unusual kind of roles, like different to what they usually do. I think that was why I think it works so well, because they both playing different sort of than their stereotypical parts. But I think that's why I like both characters so much, because they were both grey. The Robin Williams wasn't actually as evil as some, like, I don't know, a Zodiac killer type.
Oh,
He was a bit. He has scruples, and he had his like things that made him not a nice guy, apart from the horrible things he's done. But you can see where his mind was going and why he was the way he was, and that Al Pacino's detective, he had made tons and tons of mistakes, and he was like covering up the murder with the body of that dog and all sorts. He was willing to do all that so he wouldn't be found out. Which arguably you say that both of them are kind of on the same level, really. They're both as bad as each other in a sense. So that's what I did enjoy about the film. Yeah,
cool. I like it.
it's good.
Okay, I'm gonna. Oh god.
It's a random small point, but it doesn't necessarily break immersion, but it was a kind of a strange one where in his room he didn't have blackout curtains.
You should have, yeah.
With, like, I was watching.
Should have gone to Mountain Warehouse.
And that's not like him. Like, I'm not thinking about the character, but just as a kind of design thing, like I assume, and like Camilla was bringing it up, assume that would be normal for a part of the world that's light 6 months of the year. You have blackout curtains to make it as dark as possible so that people actually can sleep.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
That's
a
very
bit
true.
of an oversight.
But it's just one of those random things.
I do like the idea of you writing a detective novel, though, and it all starts with like a trip to the high street.
Yeah, to be fair, I've just Googled Alaska blackout curtains, and the first result is an article, and the heading is "How blackout curtains help you sleep during Alaska's long winters." So, yeah.
Yeah, that is quite an oversight.
Well, I think it's one of those things. It's like he didn't actually ask for like help until the third time that he's trying to sleep. And the lady who owns the hotel or something, she's like, I think she kind of had something that she could have helped him with, but the fact he didn't ask for it was a bit strange.
I've got another result. It's a forum post, and the original post is, "Hi, I'm traveling to Alaska in mid-August for my honeymoon. Will it be difficult to find blackout curtains in an Alaskan hotel?" The first response is no.
Since this film, they're like, oh yeah, that's that.
See, I really like. This isn't my favorite scene, but I really like that scene where he's like they're talking about getting the kids out of school, and he wants to embarrass the boyfriend in front of all his mates, and then they're like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock, and he's like, damn fucking straight, and they're like, no, sorry, at night, and he went, what? I thought that was like a really cool way just to introduce that concept. Like,
yeah,
I thought that was really nice. That's not my favorite scene, but Pat, do you wanna go first? I've got a couple, so if you want, I can talk for a bit.
So the easiest thing would be for me to say the ferry scene, but I do have another one. It's when like Al Pacino's character takes the girl on a car ride, only to give her a grilling over the murder. I just loved the way he went about it. That scene made me laugh quite a bit.
Laugh.
It's just the way he questioned. It's just the way he questioned her. I was like,
laughed at The Exorcist.
That's true. Yeah.
This is the closest we'll get to Al Pacino being Al Pacino during that scene.
That scene was a weird one, man, because like the way she was going like, "Hey, why don't you take me somewhere and we can hang out?" I was like, this he's a lot older than you. This is weird.
Oh yeah, the thing about I found weird about that was not that she was saying that, but that there was no, she didn't state like what's in it for her.
Yeah.
Because the way she did it, it sounded like it would like follow up with a, well, you need to give me this much money or X, Y, and Z, or I'm gonna blackmail you, or I've got this to trade for this, or blah 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 blah. It was just, oh, I want to do it somewhere. And I was just like you said, he wasn't an attractive guy. It's not like he's some really rich guy in a nice car or something. She's just like, oh, well, this might be cool.
Like ladies can be attracted to like older guys, and even ones who are like 5 foot tall. So you're in luck, Ben. Everything's fine.
An inch shorter than you.
To be honest, like, it's even. Sorry.
I was gonna say, don't get me wrong, it's true. It's just not as believable. Just kind of out of the. It's not as believable, but yeah, carry on.
I do like the idea that she just kind of looks at this guy and like a very very short man in a leather jacket, and he looks like a hawk, and she's like, yeah, let's do it.
Maybe the thing we're all missing is that those shoes were really nice.
Another bit I sort of did quite like was obviously when he shot his partner, he sort of tried to brush it off for a good chunk of the film, tried to hide it, and then eventually sort of his guilt got the better of him, and he's like, look, I don't know if it was because I haven't slept and I've imagined it all, but he sort of he sort of come to terms with what he did towards the end of the film, which is what I quite liked about his character.
I thought that scene was really, really powerful. Like, could you imagine not sleeping for like, I don't know, 6 days and being asked to remember details about like something you did when you weren't sure what was going on? Like, fucking hell.
Yeah, it was like the fact that I like the concept, the fact that he would be up for that long. That's also, what's the record for someone staying up without sleeping?
Well, John will be in a minute, so we can ask him.
I've done 3 days.
3 days?
3 days?
Yeah, and I've done that multiple times. So I was able to do that when I was younger.
Wow, but why?
You know, when you're sort of early teens, you do stupid shit just because you can. But that was my stupid thing. Like most people go out and fucking. Most people go out, beat some person up, or rob something, or jump off a building. I don't know. I decide I'm going to stab as long as I can.
I like the idea that just like across a few weeks, you just had multiple stints of 3 days, and then was like, shit.
Well, the longest I stayed up was just over 75 hours.
Wow.
And then I went to sleep, and I could only sleep for 4.
What?
Like I did that stint. I slept for 4 hours. I remember being really, really tired for like 2 days until I got my sleeping pattern back. And then once I got back to normal, I did it again.
Oh. In the space of a week.
Fucking marvelous.
Something similar.
Fucking thing ever.
Something similar happened to me once. I didn't do it on purpose. But I think I was working at William Hill. It was probably about like a year or 2 ago, probably 2 years ago. And I because I have insomnia from time to time. So I'm just laughing. But I think over like 3 days, I got like maybe 4 hours sleep, and I was starting to lose it. I was like, I don't know how I'm still awake. I'm becoming numb to stuff. I just want to get home. I just don't care. It's just, that was horrible. But then I was close to 30, so.
Oh man, we've had the two extremes there. Just
Also, I was watching it and going like, what the fuck is this, bro? Like, you know, because I'm so used to sleeping during the day now, and I was like, I'll be fucking fine with this. Like, no problem.
Yeah, if you're tired, you're tired.
Yeah.
That's what we need for the sequel, is just Alec going to Alaska and being like, give me a fucking skylight.
Oh, catch Robin Williams. It's just like, I don't know, just sun coming in, I'll be like, I don't give a fuck how bright it is. I will fucking sleep. I don't give a shit, mate. I'll get as drunk as you like. No problem.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wasn't drunk enough.
He should have got fucking wasted. No problem.
Oh man, I just had a look, right? So apparently the record for time without sleep is 11 days and 25 minutes.
Patrick, how could you?
Yeah, you didn't meet
I
that.
was well short of that. I couldn't do that.
It's the 25 minutes that gets me. Like, you just got to 11 days and went, I give it half hour.
You need the right motivation, Pat, because you just did that for no reason at all.
I'm sure
I'm trying to remember what I was doing.
So you can't even remember why you were up for that long.
Yeah. Wait, how old were you again?
I was about 14 or 15.
Oh, so you were at school still?
Yeah, I did no schoolwork. This was like, I think it was during the summer holidays.
You're fucking infinite, mate.
Oh, man, that's like the idea
You're
of you
fucking
going,
infinite.
like the idea of you starting year 11 and being like, so what did you do in your summer holiday, Pat? Consecutively stayed up for 3 days in a row.
Why did you do that? Some people steal things. Some people get in fights. I just stayed up.
3 days.
I was
We all
sort of
need
just
advice.
video gaming and watching films and watching other stuff, playing football. So I actually, during that 3 days, I had two football matches in the park without having sleep.
Wow. See, John should take notes. It can be done.
I gotta say, I felt fucking bad because the first time I watched this, I actually fell asleep through the middle, and then Al Pacino was like, "I'm so fucking tired." I was like, "Oh no, I feel quite rested actually." Sorry, buddy.
Now I'm 32. I can't lay on my bed to watch a film or watch a match without falling asleep. I can't survive one full day.
How the mighty has fallen.
Oh my god, that is weak.
I know.
Right.
You're weak.
Oh, sorry, Pat. Go on. You look like you're going to say something else.
No, I was just going to say I'm only lost about 16, 17 hours a day now without sleep.
Fucking weak.
I know, right? I'm just getting old, innit? Now I was just going to go and grab a beer. I'll be back in a minute.
Nice.
Old and drunk.
Alec, what was your favourite scene? I'm glad you asked. I had a couple. I actually quite liked a lot of these. I like that Pat's absent for this.
Pat gives no shits.
I really liked the log running scene. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah,
because I like that he fucks it up and nearly drowns himself. He's trying to get up, but the log's all... Yeah, he needed better fucking shoes, I'll tell you that. But he he's like trying to get back up, but the logs keep like crushing his fingers, and he's like, fucking hell. And his only way to get back is to just sort of go back to the beginning and climb up a ladder. I thought, that's really fucking good. I really like that. I really like the scene where he confesses about planting the evidence, because I don't know, it's all sort of in little cuts and all that. So I really liked getting like the context for that, and I thought that really kind of tied the character together for me. I like the thing with the dog, where he like shot the bullet in and all that. I remember Ben mentioned that. Obviously the fairy scene where they said we all believe in fairies, and then all the fairies came back alive, and that was nice. I thought Rob would laugh at that one, but he's just left me. He's left me there. That's fine.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all right. It probably wasn't that funny, was it? Oh, funny, Rob.
No. All it is that
Camilla laughed.
Thank you, Camilla.
I realised John was offline, and I had a little panic.
John was what?
Offline.
I mean, I'd be surprised if he actually shows up, even though he said he would. So
yeah, I mean, it's midnight. God knows what he's doing now.
Other than that, I really, really liked the interrogation scene. I really liked how we saw kind of like a bit of an ebb and flow between them, and like they've had the conversation. Robin Williams has the tape recorder and everything, and they sort of.
What's up, Pat? See, I always move when I leave the room.
They're both like, they both have like understand each other, but like Al Pacino is just like not happy with what he's doing. He doesn't think that the kid should go down for it and everything. And Robin Williams, he said like expressly, don't mention the kid. And Robin Williams is like, yeah, no, the kid. The kid's. Yeah, she mentioned the kid. And he's going like, oh, really? And then like he goes like, oh yeah. So Robin Williams mentions the letters, and he's like, oh, have you got all those letters? The letters would be really good. And like Robin Williams kind of looks at him, and he's like, do you think that'd be helpful then? And I was like, oh fuck, this would be really cool, because Robin Williams doesn't have any letters because they didn't send any letters because he kept meeting him like a little pervert. But like it was just kind of the front. Like, you think that'd help? And I was like, oh fuck, here we go. Like you could feel the temperature kind of rise a little, and I was like, nice, this is nice. And then like Al Pacino's trying to get out of the room, and the guy won't let him out of the room, so he just has like a big fucking freak out, and he starts having a go at Robin Williams and calling him a pervert and all this, so he can get let out of the room, so he can get to the kid's house in time. And I was like, that was so cool, just watching the dynamics just kind of at play there. That was a really, really cool scene. And I like that Al Pacino made himself look worse to get out of the situation so he could save someone else. I was like, that's really nice. So that's my favorite scene, even though I liked the logging scene thing, and I liked the other scene I mentioned, which I've forgotten. But
I mean, saying that, if he really wanted to save him, he could have just kept the gun on him.
Well, stop ruining it for him. Pat, you missed all the bits that I liked. So
yeah, that was impeccable timing.
He did it deliberately.
I needed to go and get a beer and go to the toilet.
That's okay.
Oh no, that was all. That wasn't as good as when we were talking about, all the awful mutilation and rape and stuff, and then you came back and you went, "Hello." That was your best one of the year, I think.
We should have had an award for best cool moment of the year.
That would have been.
But I don't think anyone could have time, so it's not fair.
Well, I think you should be nicer to me.
Yeah, that was probably my favourite moment of the year, actually. I would have
Just
voted
be a
that.
bunch of
last year, though, wasn't it?
moments.
Yeah, no, that was this year.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I think that might have been the Greatest Showman call.
Are we ready to find out what Dan's film is?
I don't think Dan knows what Dan's film is.
Oh, I didn't even know it was my choice.
Yeah, I deliberately didn't tell you to see what had happened.
Oh, no.
You waited until Ben wasn't here. You bastard.
I've been duped.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I've started doing it differently because we had like a few weeks off and I kept having to edit it. So now rather than having like loads of rounds planned out, I'm just drawing the rounds as they come up.
Okay.
Okay, right. So now Ben's coming back. Just like wait. Oh mate, he can hear me. That's all right. What's your film, Humphrey?
I don't know. I'm cool.
We already had the reaction. Pat waited until you left the room.
You know what? Fuck it. It's gonna be Back to the Future.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
After 2 years of Film Club.
That's an awesome pick. I'm so glad that this happened.
When you back Humphrey into a corner, he actually picked something good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. That's brilliant.
To the future. The Transformer one.
When's the last I saw it recently? Do you remember? When did we watch?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Oh, at your dad's house.
Oh, she's 3 times since last July.
Okay.
So
I
love
Drew Struzan, so fucking cool.
That's like really funny because like the 3 films that we've had for kick off the years now are Cabin in the Woods, Memories of Murder, and Back to the Future.
Well, couldn't be more different.
That's just like a complete like tonal shift.
Wait, what was the year before Memories of Murder? What you have?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh man.
The very first film club film.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's brilliant. I'm so excited for this.
Well, I kept getting requests and I thought, fuck it.
We all threatened to pick it.
Yeah.
Free bird.
I had like a timer. Like, so if Dan doesn't pick Back to the Future by this date, I'm picking Back to the Future.
Oh fuck! I get to start a new album. 2022.
Yeah.
Oh, this is brilliant. What a pick. That's
a great pick.
Right. Shall we nudge John and see if
No.
he's coming for the awards?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Heads up.
No,
Right.
tell him to bloody spin on the things.